Sadhan starts, and this is a difficult period because it is the beginning of Sadhan Dasha. And so during this time, she feels the heaviness of her own inadequacy because she is just not the person that she likes to be. Right? Deep down, there's this void, a sense of lacking of something important. And all that she feels is like that she needs desperately the validation and love from others. And so with Saturn here in the first house, this indicates a person does not feel good about themselves and they strive really hard to get the approval from others. They make efforts to be seen and acknowledged. And so she starts looking at what others have, what they wear, what they are like. So during this time she finds herself also regularly standing in front of a mirror and just checking out the different outfits that they had, that she got, and she's wondering if other people are gonna like it. She's curious about herself, but at the same time she's extremely judgmental about what she considers her flaws. And so this was a time when she regularly goes to popular stores and buy clothes and chooses the items that everyone else has. And when she tries a new outfit, she herself is not sure if it's any good or not, but she just hopes that other people are going to appreciate it. And we can see that this is basically how a person with Saturn in the first house grows up. And what their life is based on, right? It is based on a deep sense of insecurity about oneself and trying one's best to become important in the eyes of others and get the admiration of others because of external factors connected to the self. But what happens many times, even with new clothes and everything else that everyone else has, the validation doesn't feel right. For sure it doesn't last. And so she remembers basically whenever she comes home and does her homework, that she really gets lost in her thoughts and she's really wondering where her life is going because no one likes her and what's the point of doing anything. So this was a very difficult time for her where nothing felt right in her life and everything was so unclear. So what is Saturn's purpose here for her? Obviously Saturn in the first house wants her to find her true self, her true path, her true potential, right? Which is the only path towards fulfillment. But with Saturn here debilitated and Sushupti sleeping, she was just absorbed in a negative self-image, in self-doubt, right? She couldn't think in any way positive about the future and she felt completely lost. And so this is basically what her Saturn was all about. It didn't manifest any major external event. It was sort of a introduction into this new life cycle of Saturn. Saturn Mercury followed, and this was when she was 14 years old. Now, Mercury is going to give its effects within Saturn Dasha. Mercury sparks curiosity and a desire to learn. Mercury is the lord of the second house, and so she now focuses on her values, which are the things that she thinks are important. Mercury is also the lord of the third house, and she focuses here more on communication and how she interacts with others, and she learns how to express her thoughts and ideas to others, and she tries to understand sort of her place in the world better. And so Mercury here is really able to manifest a new identity that is based on learning, experimenting, gaining knowledge, and it also begins the journey really towards finding meaning in her life, right? Because Mercury is here manifesting Saturn, who is obviously here connected to the first house of the self, one's potential and purpose in life. And so during Saturn Mercury, she became really finally excited about life. Mercury here obviously sparks her curiosity and pushes her to try new things and develop new skills, right? No longer is she content with, just wanting the approval from others. Now she really wants to see what she's truly good at. And so Saturn Mercury was a time where she participates in different school activities. She was playing sports, and she also joined the student council at that time. And yeah, Mercury is really making her test herself in these areas. And so she is really learning a lot. She is learning about different things, and also about herself, about her strengths, about her weaknesses. Yeah, this was a time that she put just into, reading, practicing, and just getting better every day. Mercury also rules languages, and it is conjunct the 12th cusp of foreign lands. And she becomes obsessed with learning languages. She even participates in a foreign language competition in her school. And she won. And her language teacher praised her a lot for it. And that really boosted her confidence. And it was actually from this period onwards, which was Saturn, Mercury, that she has always been studying languages. And Mercury's curiosity didn't really stop at languages, right? It is the karaka of skills and also rules the third cusp of skills. So during Saturn Mercury, she also started to explore health and fitness, right? She became interested in physical well-being. She was trying out different workouts and eventually also turned that into a lifelong passion. Years later, this interest evolved into a second career in physiotherapy. But it all started here in Saturn Mercury. Mercury is in a natural neutral sign in Aquarius and overall in a friend dignity because its Lord Saturn is a temporary friend. And so she is content in her ability. And it was here in this Saturn Mercury Antardasha, which lasted basically from the age of 14 to 17, that she started to get really passionate about learning new skills, and that was a real turning point in her life, right? Mercury here really laid the groundwork for her future by encouraging her to explore and develop her talents. And ultimately, by manifesting his Saturn in the first house, Mercury helped her to take the first steps towards becoming who she was meant to be.